Ms. Whitaker, the defendant was a foster child in your home for many years, on and off. According to your complaint, at some point you invited her or asked her if she would house sit for you. You were going away for a couple of days.
Correct.
Immediately prior to that, she had not been in your home.
Correct.
She came back to your home to house sit, and according to you, she took some property that didn't belong to her. That's what you're suing her for. Ms. Parenteau indicates that the property she took belonged to her, and she has a counterclaim. She said that you changed the locks on the doors and she was unable to get some other property that she has in your house, which she'll tell me about. Just for informational purposes, how old was Ms. Parenteau when she came to live with you for the first time?
16.
And how long did she stay?
She was there for a short period of time, and then she was placed somewhere else, and then it's come back several times.
Why is that?
She was placed somewhere else because she was in my home and wanted to return to her previous home to take care of the dog. And I did that, and they were in disagreement of that choice.
Now, explain that. So she was in your home when she was 16, but she had a dog in her previous foster home that she liked?
No, in her biological home.
With whom?
My biological mother.
And you went back to that home?
Yes, I only went there for a few hours to feed the dog because she was in jail and no one else was there to take care of the animal.
So you didn't go back there to live?
No.
Oh, that's what I'm trying to understand. So you went back there just to take care of the dog?
Yes.
For a couple of hours. And you didn't like that?
No, it was not me that did not like
Who
that.
didn't
The county
like that?
did not like that.
So what happened?
After I discussed what happened, they questioned me. They took her from my home, and she was placed in several other homes after that. I fought
Why
to
is
get her
that?
back.
The second time I was taken out of her home, she committed some Social Security fraud, which she's still under investigation for.
That's not true.
That was the second time. The first time was because?
The first time was because I went to my house to feed the dog.
With her permission?
Yes, she took me over there.
Okay, so that's the first time. Second time, you say because of some sort of investigation that was being done. Were you the only foster child in the house?
No.
How many foster children were there?
There were about 4 at the time that I moved in.
How many foster children did you have at one time in the last 5 years?
The last 5 years, I've had 3.
For long periods of time?
Yes.
Do you work outside the home?
Yes.
At what?
I do a lot of volunteer work, as well as I've been in internships with my union.
I asked you if you worked for money outside the
yes.
home other than
Yes.
for home.
Yes, for a union.
What union?
SEIU 2015.
What do you do for them?
I've done a lot of internships. They are programs that last X amount of time, and I learn new things.
How do you get that job?
I
I'm
also
serious.
helped-
How do you get that job? So far, you do a lot of volunteer work. You have 3 foster children. You do a lot of internships. Internships really usually mean you're working to go towards something.
Correct.
So how did you get into this union? You have a brother, a sister, a cousin, an aunt, an uncle?
No, the county has a program, and
so
I
it's
learned
through
that.
the
I
county.
actually learned that through one of my foster children.
And for my own informational purposes, how much money did you receive each month from Ms. Parenteau?
At the end of her stay,
Let's start at the beginning of her stay.
The beginning of her stay, I was in an agency, and it was $1,009.
And at the end?
I was a non-relative placement for $859.
Prior to house sitting for you, when was the last time the defendant lived in your home?
The beginning of October, I believe.
For how long?
She had been there for a little over a year and a half.
And what caused her to leave?
She was mad at me.
She got angry with you.
Yes. And
Just a second, because?
actually, not real sure. She left a note for me.
You want to tell me why you were angry? She's not real sure?
I never left any note. She committed voter fraud, and I was very upset with that, so I
So you
moved
left in
out.
November?
Yes.
That is not true.